In this video, I'm going to show you how to simplify the square roots of negative numbers. So our first practice problem, we have the square root of negative 225. The first thing you want to do when you're simplifying square roots of negative numbers is to determine whether or not you have a perfect square. So to check that, I go into my calculator, 225, not 222, 225, and I take the square root, and that's 15. So if I know it's a perfect square, then I know, okay, first I want to get rid of that negative number here. So I'm going to have square root of 225 times the square root of negative 1. I need to remember that the square root of negative 1 is represented by the number I, and then I know that the square root of 225 is 15. So the answer to what is the square root of negative 225 is 15i. So that is straightforward, simple enough. Now I look at my second problem, the square root of negative 63. So when I'm taking the square root of negative 63, I go into my calculator, 63. So I'll notice that I'm taking the square root as a positive so that I don't, so that I know I can get the square root. That's a decimal. That's not going to work. So the first thing I want to do again is to split this up into its positive square root of positive 63 times the square root of negative 1. And then I want to start splitting up 63 and to see, okay, what is it divisible by? So if I'm thinking about factors of 63, I know that 63 is equal to 7 times 9. So when I do that, I can't take the square root of 7, but I can take the square root of 9. And then I know I'm going to have I at the end here. So I can take the square root of 9. The square root of 9 is 3. I can't take the square root of 7, so that's going to stay. So when I rewrite this, the order is going to change up. I'll end up with 3, because the square root of 9 is 3. Square roots of 7, I can't simplify that, I. And that would then be the final form of the square root of negative 63.